I think that's a good number. I think obviously you want to pace it with like when a lot of these firms start the recruiting cycle. I think one thing I could do, Baron offered like a lot of good advice on what to do. I could tell you what not to do. So for example, in the same day at the same time, don't email all the analysts from your school, right? So if I was recruiting at Evercore and there are like four analysts there, I would not email all of them at like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. But just because like people might be busy, they might notice, hey, this person like copy and paste this email at the same time and give like a really poor look. What I would do is kind of space out your emails, maybe email someone like a Tuesday, someone like a Wednesday or Thursday. I typically I personally stayed away from Monday mornings or like Friday evenings just because that's when people are busy. You typically don't want to send emails out on a Friday because people are typically wrapping up work on a Friday and it's very difficult for them to have insight into how their schedule is going to be the next week, right? So typically Tuesday, Wednesdays are the sweet spot. And what I also recommend you doing is every email should be personalized. And there are going to be some similarities. Hi, I hope you're doing well, yada, yada, yada. But always have 1 to 2 sentences on something specific to the person. It could be an experience they had when they were an undergrad, maybe they're an athlete, or it could be something they mentioned at a firm presentation. That way they actually know you're putting in that effort. And then finally, don't be afraid to follow up with people, right? So sometimes people literally won't be able to respond to you. It's not because they're bad people. It's because they're very, very busy. And literally a minute after a presentation ends, their inbox gets flooded with 50, 60 emails. So one of the best ways you can stick out is saying, okay, I'm going to wait 7 to 8 days, send a follow-up email. Then, maybe they might not respond to you again. I might wait anywhere from 1 to 2 more weeks and send one more follow-up email. I'd say after the second follow-up, if people still aren't getting back to you, maybe move on to the other alum or another firm. But I think keeping those in mind are pretty important because I've seen students get a little anxious if people aren't responding right away. And I think that's totally normal. Analysts, associates, VP, they're all incredibly busy. It's almost abnormal if everyone is responding to you right away. I think the idea is you want to be consistent, have a cadence, but also be very professional and respectful. And keeping all this in mind will kind of make sure you're doing the right things.